let him be Kyrie. Like, we just had to.
They say
Kyrie is no Harold Miner. But we don't have to ask everybody who's the next Jordan, who's the next Kobe, who's the next LeBron. How about just let him be the best Kyrie he is?
What's y'all think?
Which is pretty good.
Kobe's 6'6". Kyrie's not 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah,
Kobe
Bryant way better.
Kyrie's shoes are pretty dope, though. His sneakers are pretty swaggy.
At least in the NBA, you can wear the shoes you want to wear. Unlike the
Can I even hear it?
Yeah.
Back tomorrow.
Turn it up louder.
Holla.
Don't leave me out. Don't leave me hanging.
Oh,
That was
Hey, maybe
embarrassing.
we should have. Maybe we should
That was a fail. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, the totally mediocre, perfectly average Washington Redskins could make the playoffs. To accomplish this ordinary feat, they must beat the New York Giants, whose only motivation would be to crush the hopes of a historic rival. The thing is, as a native of Schenectady, New York, and from a family of Giants season ticket holders, I can't even muster that much distaste for Washington. I'm sort of like, oh, send them to the playoff slaughter if that's what they want, those poor little guys. All right, I'm Kate Fagan. This is lifelong, pessimistic Redskins fan Reese Waters. So how are they going to blow it? How will your Washington football team blow it?
First of all, I will address my Redskins, and I will down-talk them. I will take them to the woodshed. But how dare you, okay? I treat them like that cousin that never gets a job. I'll talk about him. Don't you talk about my cousin. I will not sit here and sit idly by while you slander the Redskins. Because the only thing the Giants are doing is making the playoffs. You're not winning the division. So you're in the exact same position that we are. You're just making the playoffs. And you must only be looking at the Eli Manning portion of the program if you want to talk about not registering any distaste for us. Because during the heyday of the NFC East, which is the 80s and the early 90s.
It's channel... I live in Florida. The WE channel.
How could this happen to my boy?
No. It's not the WE channel. It's the ESPN.
Point in the fourth quarter, bring in like some XFL refugees. That's the only way I can see myself having some confidence and faith in this team, because they never show up when you think they're going to show up. I thought they were going to show up against the Panthers. They didn't show up. I didn't think they were going to show up against the Bears. They showed up. They never show up on time like the cable company or that awful ex that always comes around as soon as you found somebody new, busting out all the receipts about how you just hit her up last night and you told the new girl that you hadn't talked to her in weeks. Always showing up at the wrong time.
Is this something you want to talk about?
Well,
that's my friends.
Is that a recent event?
Y'all don't
It's always a recent event.
I'll have to address some of that. First of all,
look,
I think slander is excessive in my opener about the Washington Redskins. I don't think I slandered them. I mentioned like mediocre, perfectly average,
So this
ordinary.
This is where you
And no,
that's correct.
the reason I can't muster this like rivalry hatred for them is not because I am not looking at the long run. Okay, I am looking at the long run. It's like to me, the Redskins are like that book you read back in middle school where you're like, yeah, I remember that, but I can't muster the enthusiasm or the energy to remember the emotions it elicited. In order for me to elicit emotion, I'm going to have some sort of even like last decade maybe, where there's been some sort of pain generated by the Washington football team.
Oh, okay, so week 3, I guess, didn't generate any pain. That was totally fine. We went into the Meadowlands.
The fact that you mentioned week 3.
That was the last time we played. The only other time we played this season, we took y'all to the woodshed and sent thousands of people home from the Meadowlands waiting on a filthy subway train, upset at what the Washington Redskins had done to them.
You think week 3 cuts really deep?
It should. It should.
You actually proved my point with bringing up week 3.
Let us sweep you. Let's do this, Redskins. I'm down for the cause. Now, speaking of semi-good, former semi-good NBA coach George Karl has added Damian Lillard to his hit list. In his most recent comments to promote something resembling a book, Karl says, I was watching the Portland Trailblazers play, and I was trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with this team. My conclusion is that Damian Lillard is getting too much attention. Terry Stotts came to his players' defense and asked Karl to stay in his decent to semi-good lane.
I owe a lot to George. I got my start in coaching with George. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for him. He's a successful coach. That being said, if he wants to diminish his chances for the Hall of Fame, if he wants to undermine his chances to being a head coach again in this league, if he wants to settle old scores with GMs or players or whoever else, that's his prerogative. But when it comes to my team and my players, he needs to stay in his own lane. He doesn't know Damian Lillard. He doesn't know how coachable he is. He doesn't know what a great teammate he is. He doesn't know how much Damian cares about winning and how important he is to his franchise. And I thought his comments, however well-intended they may have been, which I don't understand, I can't tolerate.
So Damian Lillard joins other George Karl targets: Carmelo Anthony, Kenyon Martin spelling, people without fathers, fathers without children, mothers trying to be fathers, steroids, the Miami-West Virginia fan fight in the bathroom of the Russell Athletic Bowl, the guy who proposed to his girlfriend while knocking his baby on the floor, check World Star, and people who swipe right on Tinder, then don't respond to messages in Black China. So Kate, what is George Karl's A game?
Okay, before I go there, when people don't respond to messages on Tinder, is that message just hey?
No, I always find something notable in one of their pictures to make a joke about. Like maybe their dog fell down. I'll say, hey, get that dog some balance medication. LOL.
Hit me back. Okay, good. I just didn't want you to be.
Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments how do you do a reaction video. Yeah, I'm scared first. I tried so hard to do a reaction video, but I never actually did it done. Okay, but how do you do a reaction video? Tell me what app you have to do.